guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how I like to make tapioca pudding. Now, truth be told, tapioca pudding is my all-time favorite kind of pudding, and when I first came to the US, I used to go to the grocery store with my dad or like to Wawa or something to get some snacks that were very new to me, and he introduced me to tapioca pudding, and it was always my favorite. So I love recreating it at home, so I'm going to share the recipe with you because I never have before, and it's really good but really easy. You need lots of whole milk. And these are small tapioca pearls. Now, when you buy these, they're dried in a bag or a box, depending on where you buy them. And there are different sizes. I always use the small tapioca pearls. That's just what I always use. And what I've done is I've soaked mine in some water for about 4 hours or so. I'm going to give you the time that it takes for me to make this recipe using these particular tapioca pearls after I have soaked mine for 4 hours in water. But really, if you're going to use a bigger size of tapioca pearl, if you're going to soak it for less time or more time, it's going to vary how long the final thing takes to cook until the tapioca pearls are really soft and tender. So what I'm going to do now, once you soak them, you want to just drain them. You don't have to rinse them. You don't want to rinse them because you want that starch, because that's what thickens the tapioca, the pudding. So you place that in a pan and you cover them with milk, and now on low heat you're going to simmer them. I know that for this it's going to take about half an hour, so I'm going to simmer these for half an hour on low heat, and then I'll show you the next step and the final, the additional ingredients. All right, this looks fantastic. My tapioca pearls are quite soft at this point. I want to give you a couple of tips when it comes to making tapioca pudding, because it is quite different than making a vanilla pudding, and it's a bit more labor intensive. Not difficult, but it just, you have to pay a little bit more attention to it. Tapioca pearls are full starch, so they will absolutely stick to the bottom of your pan. So you want to use a non-stick saucepan and a heat-proof spatula like this, like one that can handle, like a plastic one that can handle the heat, so that you have to constantly, as you can see, I'm scraping it, and it works a lot better than a wooden spoon, I find, because it's flat. So I just think it works a lot better, and you have to constantly stir as this is cooking. There's just no way around that. All right, so you're also gonna need some egg yolks, granulated sugar. You need some brown sugar and some vanilla extract. And this is my homemade vanilla extract, so you can see there's a lot of vanilla seeds in here. But if you're using just store-bought vanilla extract, go ahead and use vanilla bean paste, because you want that, vanilla bean essence. You want the really strong vanilla beans, or you can always use a fresh vanilla bean. Okay, so to my egg yolks, before I add them directly to the pot with the hot milk mixture, I'm just going to temper the egg yolks a little bit by adding just a little bit of the tapioca pudding mixture, the tapioca and milk mixture. And what that does, it allows the egg yolks to kind of come up to a temperature closer to what is in the pot. That way they don't scramble the minute they go in. So I slowly add, I would say about a cup or so of this mixture. So go ahead and do that and keep whisking it the whole time. So now you want to add that right in, and I still have this on as low as it goes. I don't have this on high heat at all. Both kinds of sugar. Now the brown sugar, I feel like it gives you such a richer taste, and it's just unbeatable. But if you want to use all granulated, you can. And I'm also going to add a really good splash of vanilla extract. Like I said, mine's got vanilla beans in there, so you want to make sure that yours does as well. So I'm just going to cook this for about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. All right, you can see the pudding has thickened really nicely. That's kind of when you know it's done. Mine takes about 10 minutes exactly. Now you can serve tapioca pudding cold or hot, but I also want to give you another suggestion as well. So as this sits, obviously if you eat this cold or even warm, it's really thick and luscious and gorgeous, which is how I like it. But if you want your tapioca pudding to be a lot lighter, then what you can do is you can take the 3 egg whites. I use the yolks in here, but you can take the whites and you can whip them to stiff peaks, and then once this cools a bit, you can fold the egg whites into the custard mixture, and that will give you a much lighter, more airy pudding. But you don't have to change anything else from the recipe. You just want to do the additional whipping of the egg whites and folding them in. I think tapioca pudding is made very best when it's this way. I'm just gonna take some for myself. Look how beautiful and thick that is. That is how I like it. I like it warm, just as is or cold with some berries sprinkled on top. So out of this world delicious. I just need to give this a bite. It's really warm. Smells very vanilla-y. It's gonna be amazing. I just know it like smells familiar and comforting. It is so good. It is so delicious. I know this is gonna sound strange, but it so reminds me of those little packs that you buy at the grocery store. For some reason, those for me are very comforting because it reminds me of being little and having those for the first time. This is like that, but like 10 times better. I cannot even tell you. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the written recipe. I hope that you've enjoyed spending time with me. Please make this soon if you love tapioca pudding as much as I do. And I'll see you next time. Bye.